What's up, y'all? Boss Nation Beauty back with another video. And to my new subscribers, welcome to the team. Now you're official nation. To the rest of my nations, thank you for stopping and watching this new video. So I'm not going to hold anybody too long, but don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Miss Queen Ari. It would be right there. And then also don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and to turn on your post notifications so you always, and I mean always, get a notification when I post a new video. But let's get into the video. So the first thing I'm going to be using is my James Charles makeup palette, the color No Beans, and it's actually just really deep brown color, and I really did like that. But I'm going to be using my blender brush, and I'm just going to be going in, and then eventually I'm going to be blending that out. But I'm also using tape on the side of my eyes, so as I do my eyeshadow, the eyeshadow doesn't run past the tape. Now I'm just going to be using my Crayon Case matte book palette, but the color brown, and it's almost actually similar to the color No Beans from the James Charles palette. And I just went in my crease and then blended it out over the color No Beans, just so we can really bring out that brown color, because we are going for a bronzy look. Okay, so I'm just going to be using my eyeshadow brush, but I'm also going to be using this color called Celestial from my Profusion palette. Sorry y'all. And honestly, this color was very pretty, but I'm going to be showing you how I do my cut crease. Now, how I do my cut crease, I wet my brush and then I apply it to the eyeshadow, and then I apply it to my eyelid, and then I do this upside down U. As you see, like, I'm just going to be patting it on because I'm going to be adding another color on top of Celestial. Okay, so I'm going to be going back in with the James Charles palette, but now I'm going to be using this color called Wig. James, I really like to know what you named this color, Wig. really pretty shimmery color. And I'm going to be going back in with that same eyeshadow brush, and I did re-wet it and then applied it to the eyeshadow and then applied it to my eyelid because we really wanted the shimmer to pop over Celestial. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite parts. So I'm just going to be going back in with my blender brush and then the color No Beans, and I'm just going to be applying it to my cut crease, and you can see how it's just, it'll give it more detail once the whole makeup is finished. Okay. Okay, so now it's time to remove this tape off my face, and as you see, as I take the tape off, you can see like how perfect my eyeshadow looks. Yes. And then I'm going to be using an old blush brush to remove any eyeshadow that may have fallen under my eyes. Alright, so you already know the dealio, the trulio, whatever with my Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. But I'm just going to be using my E.l.f. foundation brush and applying the dots that I always do with this foundation. And then, of course, I do want to try different foundations. I just don't know who yet. So if y'all have any suggestions, please let me know. And also, I did moisturize and prime my face before I did anything. So I absolutely love my handheld sponges, especially like when blending out my foundation. It's very easy to use. But I noticed someone did ask me, where do I get my handheld sponges from, or sponges period? And actually, you can get them from your local beauty supply store, you can get them from Target, you can get them from Walmart, you can get them from Sephora, you can get them from Ulta Beauty, wherever. I mean, each sponge you can get from either at a lowest cost or the highest cost. Honestly, I just feel like a sponge is a sponge. If it gets the job done, so be it. Now I'm just going to be using my blender sponge and just making sure everything is blended in perfectly, and then any excess foundation on my face, the sponge will do the job, because we don't want to look blotchy or cakey. Alright, say I know how I'm coming through with my Revolution concealer. I can't get enough of this concealer, y'all. Like, I just love it. So I'm just gonna be applying it under my eyes, and then I'm gonna be applying it closer to my nose as well. And then I'm going to be taking my purple blender sponge, and I actually do have 2 purple blender sponges. Okay. But once I blend it in, it just looks so good, and it just blends in so well. Like, I love it. I just freaking love it. I love it. McDonald's, I love it. I'm loving it. So now I'm just going to be using my Wet n Wild bronzer, but along with an old blush brush as well. And then I'm just going to be contouring my cheekbones. And yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to be using my NK Perfection finishing powder and applying it under my eyes, and then I'm also going to be applying it onto my cheekbones as well. And notice I did not contour my nose yet. I'm going to be contouring that at the end. Okay, so now I'm just going to be using my E.l.f. finishing powder, but along with my Wet n Wild contour brush, and I'm just going to be blending in the NK Perfection powder on my cheekbones and under my eyes as well. Okay, so now I am just using my Wet n Wild makeup stick and an old eyeshadow brush to contour my nose. I actually do heat up the makeup stick because, again, it is a stick. So I just heat it up a little bit with a lighter and to contour my nose. So I'm just going to be going back in with that bronzer palette, but I'm going to be using an old blender brush to blend out and contour my nose very well. Okay, so I'm going to take my sponge and apply a little bit of NK Perfection powder and just apply it a little bit on both sides of my nose after contouring my nose, just so it gives it more of that contour nose that we were going for, and then blending that out. So I'm just going to be going in with my Pure Mineral Concealer and then applying it onto my nose and then blending that out because, again, we really do want that contoured nose. For the third time, I'm just going back in with the James Charles palette, but I'm going to be using this color called Ring Light, and I'm just going to be applying it to the inner part of my eyes, and I'm using this small eyeshadow brush as well to get in the small space. You already know how I'm feeling when I pull out my Profusion Eyes and Cheek Makeup palette using the color Diamonds. I freaking love that highlight, but I'm going to be using a flat brush to apply it on my nose and then also a highlight brush to apply it to my cheeks as well. Okay, so now I'm just going to be using my Almay palette, but I'm going to be using the highlight and applying it under my eyebrows, but also along with my flat brush that I use to highlight my nose as well. The last step, so I'm going to be using my NK lip gel, but also along with my RK Super Gloss, and I'm going to be applying the lip gel first and then the super gloss after, just so my lips are extra glossy and they'll last a little longer.